What's up? We're live on the back porch of nowhere. I'm going to talk about a few things. It's been an exciting week. It's been an expensive week. And we'll see if anybody comes in here. All right, we got some people coming in here. All right. My phone thing's crooked. Forgive me. Alright, does that work? Is it like the pavement? Is that all messed up? Should be, it seems level. Oh man. It's been an adventurous week for sure. If you guys follow me on Facebook, it's definitely been a week. I have not worked this week, so that's part of it. But you know, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the mistakes that I've made, the mistakes other people make, and look at that! Isn't that thumbnail beautiful? Iron Maiden. I got the new Iron Maiden today. That's the positive. Got the new Iron Maiden today. All right, let's get rid of that echo. Just got a notification. Bill, the notification actually went out on time then. Hey, Ratman, if you're watching, I got your shirt on. Check it out. We went to Dunkin' Donuts. I got water. Get some more people in here. We'll do some shout outs. And then we'll get to it. There's the camera. I got the phone upside down. So yeah, but hit the thumbs up, show representing. Let's get some people in here. And I'm kind of in a crappy mood, so who knows what kind of stupid crap I'll say tonight. So cold brew at D&D Rocks. I got two things. I got regular coffee with cream, but iced, and that was good. And then the wife got some tea, chai, latte stuff, and then I got some water. So probably shouldn't have consumed caffeine at 5 o'clock, but I did. So there's that. So I'll probably be up all night. Haven't started. I was gonna have a beer later, but I don't know. Who knows? Depends. It's been a stupid week, and we'll start from the beginning once we get some more people in here. All right, let's do some shout outs. We got Don Shonger, what's up? Pigtail, RN, Nittany Lion, Daniel Adami, Spooby. RN says, hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. Could be worse, right? Could be better, but we're good. Nothing witty. Oh no, Mr. Bill, 798. Evening all, just got notification. Nittany Lion, cold brew at D&D Rocks. Yes. Say no to Starbucks. Say no to Starbucks. Bob G, what's up? Chuck for Life, how's it going? How's the Landstar life treating you? I saw you upload a video. I haven't watched it yet. Guys, if you're a trucker and you do a video, you'll have to forgive me if I haven't watched you, because I have not kept up on most YouTube videos. When it comes to the trucking verse, you know, I'll step into the James Best live feed, and I think I stepped in on Jeffrey Likes live feed the other night, Sunday night. But for the most part, most of the YouTube I've watched has been some things in the morning. That's it. I mean, I'm extremely behind on everybody. Your mill light is on. Daniel Adami, see if your carrier will give you the code through the ELD app or through the ELD, and you might be able to see what that code is, what caused it. That's what I do. If Kenworth and Peterbilt, the PACCAR You have the mill light, then you have the check engine light, then you got the red light that says this is going to be expensive. Um, the mill light could be anything from a calculation being off or something wasn't just right. But I will say this. There's about 40,000 trucks right now down for DEF sensor related issues. So I don't know if there's a nationwide bad def that's causing that. I don't know if it's the heat wave that's causing that. I don't know if it's a combination of what's causing that. Maybe the def sensors they put in now aren't as good as the stock originals. I don't know. But regardless, it's a problem. Kenworth just announced that they're laying off 350 workers because they can't finish building trucks. I believe Ford just did a layoff because they can't finish building vehicles. So, whether you like Eric or not, Sage has been saying some things that have been coming to fruition. And don't believe him, don't believe me. Look at the news. Look at the results. I still have TransFlow right now. They haven't switched me over to Samsara ELD yet. Are you going over to Samsara? When you do, but even if you have Samsara, you won't be able to see. Only the executor of the ELD can see those codes. If you're at Like Trucking, you can call me, and I will give you what it's saying. Well, I hope you're not having the night week I'm having, but stuck in a hotel near Atlanta, and DoorDash brought me Coke Zero instead of regular Coke. General Motors also everyone's short of chips. Yep, I put my OBDI reader, and it says something about emissions. Oh boy. Daniel, if you can give me a screenshot of that, and after this live feed. Here's what you can do, Daniel. This is what I've done. Whatever it says, Google that exact phrase. And then you'll come up on some forums that talk about what that is. And if it's just a def quality thing, then the writings might be on the wall for that. But if it's just because it had a small hiccup, you may not have to worry about it. So, doing good. One more year and this truck will be mine. Excellent, truck for life. There's nothing that can't, well, I mean, there's a few things, but it's pretty hard to beat the feeling of a paid off truck. Tell you what, it's a good thing because I make stupid mistakes, right? So I booked a load last Thursday that dropped Thursday night or Friday morning. It was a drop trailer, thinking that they would be done with it by Saturday. And I literally live a block from the customer, so it wasn't a big deal. The last time I did this load, it only took them till Sunday morning. I got the call that the trailer was ready. Well, Tuesday rolls around. I don't have my trailer yet, and we discussed layover and the rate. And Wednesday morning, my trailer was done. Now, on top of that, I had done a post trip and I noticed that my fuel filter was an ugly color. So I had to fix that. But I didn't want to put the truck in the shop. And before you say, Steve, why didn't you change filters yourself? Bear with me a minute, okay? I wanted to make sure I could get the trailer, so I didn't put my truck in the shop. So Wednesday morning, I get the call. I had to call them. They said, yeah, it was done Tuesday night. So I go get the trailer, And as I'm on my way to drop the trailer to put the truck in the shop, I called Kemmer and say, hey, can you get me in? They said, yeah. If you could drop it, cool. We should have it done tonight, if not tomorrow morning. And this was on Thursday. Or no, Wednesday. So that's fine. So I called up the trailer places and said, hey, I need a DOT, inspect the brakes, make sure we're good. And they're like, yep, we could probably have that done by Friday. So I took the trailer to the trailer place. I dropped the truck off, grabbed an Uber home. Now, in the past, when I've had the fuel filters changed, they've mentioned on the bills that on a Packard, you got that little primer pump. Well, it was going bad, and they had a hell of a time changing the fuel filters. Well, this time they decided to say screw it and change that whole pump system. So I was going to tackle it myself, and I called a couple of friends. They told me how to do it, but since my bowl faces downward and not upward, there was a big chance that I probably would have trouble priming it, especially with the bad pump. So I went ahead and left it to the professionals and got it changed out, and sure enough, the pump had gone bad. So not the fuel pump, but the primer pump thing. And so I was glad I took it into the shop. The trailer, I just got the call today. Actually, no, I had to call them that it was done this afternoon, but I'm dealing with a car issue. Those of you who follow me on Facebook saw what happened. So tomorrow morning I'll pick up the trailer, because if I don't, I won't be able to get to it till Tuesday because the shop closes, and Monday's a holiday. So I hope you guys planned your loads accordingly if you were not home for the holiday, and I hope you got a good rate. And we can get into that if you want. So on the way home with the Uber, we're delayed turning left into my house because there's an accident right in the middle of the road. It was my son. He had just had an accident. So I immediately went home, went back to the scene of the accident. The guy that hit him was pretty irate, but he calmed down once we got there, luckily. And of course, I had to call my son now because he's 19. I think I was 19 when I had my first wreck. But it pretty much probably totaled the car because I drive 20-year-old beaters, and it doesn't take much to take out a Honda SUV. So either way, I need a vehicle now. I posted this on Facebook, and everybody's giving me all these suggestions of what to do because I talked about how much I hate car shopping because dealers are stupid. Because I went on cargurus.com, found some vehicles, but they didn't put the phone numbers of the dealers. So I did the email for information, and all it did was tell me where it was, and I had to Google the phone number myself. And there was one dealership website I went to that literally had call for pricing, with no pictures, mind you. So I'm like, well, if I'm just going to drive to a dealership blindly and ask them if they got something, I might as well just go in person, which defeats the purpose of shopping online. Because I hate car salespeople. I hate with every fiber of my being most car salespeople. I know several personally. They've told me the shady stuff that they've done. I don't like them. So if there's a vehicle I'm interested in, now don't get me wrong, I'm not rude to these people. I don't come up with a negative attitude, and I don't expect perfection, but the art of sales has gone away. Because here's the reason. It's a seller's market right now. They know that you're desperate. They know you need a car. And the higher end used car dealerships are half empty. So everybody's under pressure. Everybody's under negative pressure. And they know that they can charge $4 or $5 grand more for a vehicle because there's the markets for it, right? Check out private car owners. I have yet to find anything on Facebook that's worth anything, because now if I find 5 vehicles and one's in Ozark, one's in Nixa, one's in Springfield, or they're all over the place, it's a huge waste of time. So I'm going to try autotrader.com tonight. There's 2 that we're going to look at in the morning. There's like 18 that I looked at today, and every single one of them had a check engine light. And you know what they were? They claimed it was the OS sensor, OB sensor, something like that. Every single one. So I'm like, well, is this like the def quality sensor of the car world? What's up with that? And the one vehicle that I liked, the tint's all screwed up. It's got a set of wheels on it. It's probably worth more than the car. But I go to roll the windows down, and the rear window won't go back up. And I had a check engine light. So, now granted, I'm looking for something cheap, okay? There's plenty of good dealers in the area that I can go to. There's a great dealer in Marshfield that we go to. If I wanted to buy something in 5 digits, but I'm keeping it at a low 4 digit because I haven't gotten paid for the vehicle yet. Regardless if they total the vehicle or not, I need to get something today or tomorrow. So that's been frustrating. And what's interesting is I literally just got done paying the registration renewal for the Honda that got wrecked. What about an auction? I don't know much about auctions. I think you have to have a dealer's license to go to auctions around here. Well, let's see. Let's do some. The Scribe, what's up? Yeah, everyone's short of chips, right? Yeah, they said they were going to switch over to Samsara because they were having lots of problems with Transload. Good deal. Samsara's a good system. Oh, the Trucker James Best, what's up? I'm hoping it just needs to be put on a forced regen. Can you rent a car for your wife or other driver and let your son drive their car so you can make a more informed decision? RN, here's the deal. My wife has her car. And it's the most money we spent on a vehicle in a long time. I got a really good deal on this Honda from my mom. And I got spoiled with it because, I mean, she literally used it for gas, groceries, and church. I mean, you know, it's a 2003 and it only had I think it only had 90,000 miles when we got it. Last year. And rental cars are so expensive. And so if I buy something for about $3,500 and we get a check for $2,000 for the total car, then we're only paying $1,500 for the car, essentially, whatever we get. And when you're in this price range, it's really not much informed decision as much as which piece of shit do I want to settle on, is essentially what it is. And while I'm working, my son can take my pickup, but he's had issues with that pickup. And my daughter uses the car for school, and it puts a strain on my wife to either take the daughter to school, and she can't take my son to work because he works in the middle of the day. So I've been playing Uber all week. So things happen for a reason, right? Literally the day that I decide to put my truck and trailer both in the shop, that's when I come home and I start dealing with this. Everything happens for a reason. So I'm not mad. I'm irritated at salespeople. I'm irritated at how people don't take care of their stuff. There was one dealership where it literally, like, the license plate was still on the van, and the kids' toys were still in the damn thing. I said, "Is this car for sale?" He's like, "Yeah. It just came in. We haven't had a chance to detail it yet." I'm like, "You think?" And then there's one minivan that was perfect. I opened the door and almost got knocked out. Whoever had that minivan had 18 kids and 15 dogs, and they were all wet at the same time inside this thing. That's how bad it smelled. And they're like, oh, we might be able to do 4, but we got that priced at 5. I'm like, yeah, no thank you. So, it's not a buyer's market right now. So, I've been able to talk one person down $300. Or no, $500. So, oh, almost deleted somebody. Sorry about that. So, yeah. So that's what I'm dealing with, right? So, now, you guys are thinking about the title. What about this bad broker thing? So, let's go back to the load that took 3 extra days. When I dropped the trailer, I knew I was in trouble because the receiver told me that they had up to 72 hours to empty that trailer. And so, once I got that trailer, I know that that's what they were telling the broker. The broker lied to me, and they said they were going to get layover pay. Well, I was informed by the highest up person of this brokerage that I'm only getting $25 a day for storage. $25 a day. Because this receiver won't do the $250 a day I asked for. So I literally been back and forth with the broker. There's literally 30 emails in this chain for $50. So let me give you a life lesson here, okay? Now, I know some of you are saying, Steve, don't ever do a drop trailer. Why'd you do that? You're an idiot. I will agree with you. But I thought I knew the circumstances because I've dealt with these circumstances before. So that's all on me. I'm not blaming the broker on this. But what started to happen was the broker started, the agent started emailing the person in charge, and they started going back and forth, hitting reply all, and I was in this chain. And once I saw that they were passing the buck to each other, I knew I was screwed. Because as soon as I needed my money, what happens? They don't answer the phone calls. They don't answer the emails. They ghost you. Now, I will say that the one agent that I've been working with has been friendly when I got on the phone with him, and I've been very respectful. However, my emails show a little bit of aggression because I was getting tired of passing the buck. At some point, I lost a little bit of politeness. Now, I wasn't like cursing at them. I just said, this needs to be handled now. I can't believe you're doing this. This is not right, and I need this done ASAP so I can turn this load in. Because here at Like Trucking, you can't turn a load in until you get the detention approved and we get the new Raycon with the detention or layover or whatever accessory fee added on top of it. Now, there was one time that Jeff did pay me for detention, even though the broker didn't pay it. That's Jeff taking care of me, right? But he can't do that for every driver for every load, and it wasn't much, right? It wasn't like $6,000 or anything like that. But he would lose money if he did that all the time. So that's not fair to him, right? And to me, that's the most frustrating thing, whether you got your own authority or you're signed on with a person in the spot market. It doesn't matter what you negotiate in the beginning. If they pass the buck, they pass the buck. Now, I'm not going to trash the broker here on YouTube because that would not be professional. I'm not one of those guys. But as soon as I get the new Raycon, I will tell them what I think. Maybe. I don't know. So, G&C Family Trucking, he dropped the trailer. So what I'm going to say to you is don't drop trailers anymore. Now, people are like, well, Steve, you could have done power only while waiting for your trailer. Yes, I could have, but my truck had to go to the shop. But I couldn't put it in the shop until I got my trailer. So I've lost a whole week And there's nothing I can do about it. So, going back to my original, what I always tell everybody, keep your costs low, have some flexibility, and don't expect to work 30 days a month, because you will always have a situation that's going to keep you from working. And if you don't have your bills caught up, if you don't have money in the bank to pay for said bills when you're down, because it's not just truck breakdown, it's not just the cost of repairs. It could be something that happens at home that has nothing to do with trucking at all. What are you going to do if you have a family member that gets sick, goes to the hospital? What are you going to do if you have a family member that passes away? The bank don't care about that. The insurance companies don't care about that, right? You have to keep your costs low. You have to have some flexibility. You have to have money in the bank to take care of those situations. You know? And you know, and learn from my mistakes, right? And you know, and just because something worked 10 times in a row doesn't mean that it's going to work the 11th time. So I'm kind of frustrated right now because of the wrecked car, because I've been dealing with car salesmen that don't give a rat's ass. They hate their lives, so I hate them back. And then dealing with truck issues, dealing with trailer issues, and then also dealing with the broker that did everything they can to save themselves $500, and I'm going to get 50. If I would have known that they were just going to dick me around like that, I would have just turned in the bills and I could have been paid yesterday for this load. But no. So can you rent a car? Okay, I already read that. If you didn't have bad luck, you wouldn't have any luck at all. Look, John, this is not a woe is me post. It you know, it's there's been a lot of blessings, and that's what you have to do. You have to count your blessings, right? Things happen for a reason. I was glad I was home because dealing with this car wreck thing, right? So I was glad I was home for that, because that could have been bad. That could have been a bad situation. You know, and the truck's paid off. And, you know, and we just passed a truck DOT and a trailer DOT. So we're good there. They adjusted the trailer brakes. We're good there. So my trailer's been really good. And right now, you might pay up to 50 grand for a used dry van. So if you have equipment now, that's gold. Rent a U-Haul pickup for $20 a day, Nittany Lion. Yeah, but if they total the car and Allstate drags their feet, and this is a holiday weekend, I really don't need to do anything until Tuesday. So if I buy something tomorrow, which is a good possibility, then we'll be okay. I haven't been car shopping, but I've been told used vehicles are now sold at a premium. Bill, that is absolutely correct. Southbound, what's up? Team Tiny, take freight back to shipper. I couldn't. It was a drop trailer. And Team Tiny, that was going to be my backup plan. I was going to show up at the receiver and say, hey, I'm here to pick up my trailer. If it's still got your stuff in it, I don't care. I'm going to take it back to the shipper. It needs to go now. If I was in a GNC family situation, I would have done that. I ain't playing this game. But since when I dropped it, the receiver said it was 72 hours, I knew I was screwed, because obviously the broker lied to me about the 48 hours. And so I knew I was going to have trouble getting my money, because the receiver is not going to pay that, because we told you 72 hours. And so what happens is the broker pretends it's a problem and that they didn't know. Oh my gosh, I don't know why. They usually blah, 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 blah. And then next thing you know, I'm getting $50 for, with my thumb up my butt. Where do you need me? Yeah. And I get you, Team Tiny. That's why I would never drop on the road, ever. This was literally right next to my house. Lesty, what is up? I enjoyed the interview that you did with the Truck and Review channel. It was good to see you. I, too, will have to come visit you in Tulsa sometime. If I ever start trucking again. Pneumatic Brit is in the house. My mate just rolled his truck and loaded tanker. Oh no, 200 feet from shipper. Hope he's okay. I am wound up. I am pretty pretty irritated. I was yelling at my dog earlier. I shouldn't have yelled at him. He was barking. But yeah, so I mean, again, you can't control the circumstances, you know, and look, when you're doing spot market, choose your own freight, you try to avoid as many negative situations as you can. And that's why, you know, these people that want to use new brokers every single load and just, and you have no repertoire with somebody, because there are several brokers that I normally use that I would never have this issue with, right? And that's important to me. And most of the most successful people here in the spot market that I know, signed on or own authority, are using the same 4 or 5 brokers for everything. They're not, I mean, yeah, you might get on the DAT board and call, make 50 phone calls, but 90% of the time, you know, you might just go to your go-tos. I mean, I check all my email. Every morning I get an email list. Every morning Jeff sends me an email list. There's, you know, there's a list that I go through, and then I go through the click and goes, and then I make phone calls, you know, and very rarely do I need to get Jeff to do a carrier packet. Now, part of that is we have 15 trucks, and we're still filling out carrier packets every week, but I mean, I think our list of brokers is like 400 or 500, but for the most part, I use the same, I'm probably up to 10 brokers at this point. But that's a lot of the people that, like, I do a lot of the same loads, but they switch. Like one month JB Hunt will have them, and the next month Uber will have them, and then the next month Convoy will have them. It's the same load. It's about the same rate. Sometimes the rates go up, sometimes the rates go down. But it's interesting to see it jump around. You know, I don't know if it's a 3PL thing, or if they're renegotiating that often, or if they're co-brokering. All right, we see Little Viking Coach putting links up there. No, we don't drive manual. I'm the only one that knows how to drive a manual in the house. Nevada's in the house. Little Viking Coach. Is Craigslist still a thing? Maybe I need to look at that. Well, Steve, right now I'm in isolation here at the nursing home fighting COVID. Oh, no. I'm doing good, too. Feeling better, and according to the nurses here, they caught it early and started meds. Wow. Well, Les, here's to a quick recovery. I hope you get a quick recovery there. That's a RAV4. They're very reliable, and just like the 4Runner. I appreciate that, LVC. That was another one of irritation. So I checked Car Guru, and there's a Honda, just like the one we have. That's been a very good vehicle, and I was gonna go buy it. I was gonna go get it. I show up at the deal. I said, "Hey, do you still have that Honda CR-V?" And they're like, "Yeah, come on in." So I drove down there, and I'm looking, and all I see is a blue one. This one was tan. I said, "Where's the tan one?" Like, "Oh, we sold that 2 weeks ago." Then why is it on the freaking website? I don't know why, but we got this one. And dude, it was stupid. It was stupid. He lost his contract, Schneider, because he took down a residential area clear and marked no trucks. That's not good, Britt. I hate to hear that. No, I'm the only one in the house that could drive a manual, Team Tiny. All right, I'll take a look at that after the live feed there, Daniel. Um, so yeah, Schneider, if you drop a trailer, roll a truck, you're gone. And they don't mess around over there. But no, I was talking about personal vehicles on the manual stuff. But I think we got a few automated transmissions in the fleet. Les says he's already feeling better, trying to give the nurses a run for the money. There you go. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be like, tank was hazmat. Wow, ouch. That's a huge insurance claim. Dang. That was always my biggest fear when I was at Landstar hauling hazmat was there was I remember on Facebook there was an image from an aerial shot from a helicopter, a news helicopter, where a Landstar truck was stopped on a bridge and there was fluid literally gushing out of the bottom of the trailer, and it was a hazmat load on an overpass. He had avoided a car and it shifted the load because he didn't secure it, either or that the securement failed, and it was gushing all over the place. It stopped. I think it literally stopped Houston in its track. This was years ago. You got COVID too, Tiny? Wow. There, Nomadic Brit, there was a story that a friend of mine had told me about where he was hauling for this hazmat company. Whatever he had on, he was at a fuel stop and he noticed the drip coming from the trailer. And that stuff was so toxic that when he notified the authorities, they literally sectioned off a 3-block area because of what that stuff was. I mean, I do not miss hazmat at all whatsoever. So, it's a lot of responsibility. You're going to have to cancel your next load. Yeah, Daniel, I'm glad your mom's doing better. That's pretty cool. I'm going to do my impression of Jane's Best. I'll be right back. Hi, Kitty. Well, for a hazmat, if there's an accident, there must be at least a 3/4 mile clear area. Wow. She gone. Yep. So, $2 for Mr. Chair. For the chair. Say thank you. The chair failed. There is a chair. It's not as comfortable looking as yours, though. Ah, that's good. So, how many of you guys are going to the Joplin truck show? I believe. What's the day of that truck show? Is it September 24th? Let me look here. Guilty by Association Truck Show. There it is, September 23rd through the 25th. Boink. How many of you are going to that? G-Bats. That too represents 20% of my orientation. Dang. Yeah, orientation fees always, or pay always sucks. But sounds like you made it through CDL school and you're doing good. So call me. I might be busy. Wife's got plans for me this month. Talk to me. I'll be in Montana. James Best, you're going to miss the G-Bats. Shame, shame. The first truck show of the year, and you'll be like, I can't go. Now, I will say this. If you're going to go to Montana, now's the time of year to do it. Oh, it's timing. Okay. But, so, anyways, that's all I got. Whatever you guys else want to talk about, within reason, because, you know, we don't want the overlords to get mad at me. I got 7 active faults. 3 of them have to do with the stupid front sensor. The collision mitigation. What up, Snorelord? Says that ninja. I saw a driver in Buffalo, New York. He nosed in his front steer and they dropped. He tried backing up. It took out his oil pan. The environmental fines cost more than the tow truck. Yeah, that's the thing. We had a, not we, but when I was at Transland, they had a driver. You ever been down those 2-lane narrow Arkansas highways? And they have like that little pull off for tractors to get out of the way if there's like 20 cars behind you. He thought he could turn around. Now, it was a guy that I trained for a week and kicked him out of the truck. And so they put him with another trainer. And it took him extra 2 weeks of that training with that guy before they passed him. And when they passed him, I said that wasn't a good idea, that this guy would cost them money. Within a month, he had 3 accidents. And the third one was he attempted to use that as a turnaround and ended up getting stuck in the middle of a 2-lane highway in Arkansas, and his tanks literally stuck on the pavement where it wasn't level because it's not meant for an 18-wheeler turnaround, and there was big environmental fines. It cost the company $35,000 just to deal with that, the tow, and the repairs on the truck. And I don't think that I went into the office saying I told you so. I mean, I literally walked in the office and said, hey, I told you so. And they fired him at that point. I went to a shipper of pool chlorine and the guard shack had blown up because the trailer of recalled product blew up next to it. Wow. Sorry, Steve, I won't be there. I won't be making it to any other truck shows. I'm going to miss the truck shows, so I'll have to watch YouTube feeds. Well, Les, we will try to do some live feeds just for you, sir. Just for you. That Ninja Team Tiny, I'm not answering that, Nevada. G-Bats is not the first truck show of the year. There has been a few already. One at Walcott, Jamboree. I missed the Walcott one. Yeah, there's one. Wasn't there one in Florida or something? But then their little guy was at one somewhere. But that's the first one that counts for me, right? Word is Coach and GP are going to be there. There's really not a whole lot of recruiters there. There really isn't. This is more of a hot rod type, like car show style event. There's very few, like it's not your traditional truck show. So there might be 1 or 2 recruiters there, but it ain't like Gats or Mats. It's nothing like that. Is cruise control still working? Oh, we're asking Daniel Adami. Cruise control was working until they took the damn computer thing off. Huh. Jamboree says it ain't, yeah, Jamboree ain't it. I need one of those ain't it t-shirts, because I've been saying that. James, you got me saying that now. Thanks. So, okay, drivers, got to get off here. Nurse is here to stick me with needles. Take care. Les, get to feeling better. I appreciate you being in this live feed. Thank you very much. Um, that's a real bone. Yes, little LVC. That is a real bonehead trucker. Um, I know Daniel this. I know Daniel, and I haven't been able to look at your photo because that'll interrupt the live feed. But if the battery dies, or if I don't turn the key, if I turn the key too soon before the glow plugs do their thing, I know that there'll be a fault that'll come up. That's the front radar, the ABS, not the ABS, the traction control, and something else won't work. And so I got to turn off the truck and then reset it and then turn it back on. So Kenworth loves to have these gremlins that screw with the electronics. So hopefully it's just an electronic issue. But so yeah, so it's been a frustrating week, but you know, we all have our issues. I mean, I don't have COVID, you know, knock on wood, you know, yeah. I ate out today for lunch, but you know, and I learned a valuable lesson with a certain broker that I was on the fence working with anyways, but hey, you know, screw me once, shame on you, or shame on me. Screw me twice. Well, no, screw me once, shame on you. Screw me twice, shame on me. So you already did that and didn't work. Well, yeah. Well, door was still in it. Phrase. Is your cruise control still working with truck issues? Yeah, you know, here's the weird part. So what will happen is, you know, I've got the PACCAR, I've got the Bendix collision mitigation system. So what'll happen is that it'll say a fault and it'll turn yellow where that cruise control would be. And so what happens is, now if it's raining, that will come on. It'll shut the radar system down so it doesn't slam on the brakes in the rain or snow. If it gets snow covered, it'll do the same thing. But what will happen is sometimes that code will just come up and it takes 3 cycles for it to go away. 3 key cycles to go away in a period of time. I forget what it is. And so one time my batteries were dead. I had to jump start the truck. That fault came on, but I could still set the cruise and it still dinged if I got too close to somebody. However, it didn't slam on the brakes. So I wasn't sure what the fault was for anyways, but then it went away. I think I drove it like that for 2 days. But there are times when that yellow comes on and I can't use the cruise, which is the design. If it's raining and that fault comes on, it's designed that so you're not using your cruise control in the rain, which you shouldn't be doing anyways. I can turn the cruise control on, but the RPM won't go up. So yeah, that's definitely an electronic issue, which is good news, Daniel. Hopefully they can just reset it. I do live in the jungle. Between all the car noises, the cicadas, and in the morning the birds, you know. But if we're out front, you'd hear all the motorcycles and stuff. One time, check this out. So one time, I stayed the night in Vandalia, Illinois. This is when I was a company driver. I had a Volvo. No, I had a Kenworth. It was a Kenworth. I didn't have the collision mitigation, but anyways, I decided to get fuel in Effingham. But I started in Vandalia, Illinois, going east. So I got in the truck, and I'm cruising along. It's like 4 in the morning. And I look down. I'm doing 72 miles an hour. Didn't realize it. Well, the truck's supposed to be governed at 65. And I'm like, well, this is cool. I'm not governed all of a sudden. Sweet. Then I realized that I didn't have cruise control and I didn't have Jake brakes. I'm like, no. That ain't it, as James Best would say, because I was getting ready to go to Pennsylvania with 45,000 pounds. It wasn't about to have no Jake brake in Pennsylvania with 45,000 pounds. Now, I know some of you old school people know how to deal with that, but I'm not old. I'm old school in spirit, but I'm not from that era as far as driving ability. So I went and got fuel, and I was about to call the shop when everything went back to normal. And what happens is certain times of the year when it goes from 80 degrees to 40 degrees, depending on where you're at, that moisture does funny stuff to computers and wiring, and that's probably what happened. When I got fuel and restarted the truck, everything was back to normal. Jeremy's truck was down 2 months and then just broke again. Wow. Yeah, that's again goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of this feed. You got to prepare for anything. And yeah. Nevada, you're probably not used to all these noises because you live in the desert. Now, as somebody who also used to live in the desert, I know what you're saying. But I'd rather deal with this than the heat of the desert. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my time in the desert. I love driving through the desert. I love visiting the desert. But I'm glad I live where there's the color of green. So. And okay, so let's talk about new trucks versus used trucks versus paid off trucks, all that jazz, okay? You guys ready for this? Kirby Dragons, what's up? One is not better than the other. Okay? Let me point that out. Because it depends on the person's situation. But here's what you have to do. If you have a paid off truck, put money aside for repairs and maintenance. Okay? You're not free and clear, and you can't stay home for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. Okay? You can, but eventually repairs will catch up. If you have a new truck and you have warranty doesn't cover everything, but you also have to account for downtime, extra truck payments, and stuff that warranty won't pay for. So what's that cost going to be to you in your situation? If you're a lease op, same thing. Lease purchase op, same thing. But you're probably going to be under an umbrella where the company will make the truck payment for you, but then you'll be in debt to them. And debt is the currency of slaves. So if you're 3 weeks behind on your Snyder finance payment, that's a lot of money. And then it's really easy to get in a hole. So you better have money aside for that. If you have an escrow, I'd suggest doubling it for that 1 or 2 weeks down. Now, the other advantage to a lease op situation is if your truck is complete lemon, that you can then maybe get transferred to a new truck. Not always, but sometimes you can, okay? Full maintenance lease. You still need money set aside to make the monthly payment, and that 10 or 12 cents a mile that you're going to pay for maintenance comes out on the front versus what you're keeping back. So if you're making a new truck payment and you say put 12 cents a mile away, if you don't use that 12 cents a mile, then that money stays in your pocket. In a full maintenance lease, you're spending that 12 cents a mile regardless, but then you never have to worry about that huge breakdown. However, there's still time lost. So if you have high payments at home and you can't make the house bank ain't going to care. Your landlord's not going to care. Your utility company's not going to care. And it's easy to get in a hole. So these are the things that you have to consider. Where most people get in trouble is when you have a new truck that leaves you no leniency and you can't save money. Or you have a used truck that's nickel and diming you or having major repairs and you still have a truck payment and you have no warranty, which was my case last year. Last year I was $20,000 in the hole, plus the truck payments I was making. That's why I paid my truck early, because at least it helped me catch up, and it did. All my business debt is gone. Now, I had a little bit of help, but essentially it helped me get ahead, because this year I haven't been able to be productive because of everything's going on at home. Dealing with my mom, dealing with the accident, dealing with the weather and stuff going on with my houses. So it's good that I've had a little bit of relief on my monthly business bills. It reminds you of the Predator versus Aliens. Thank you, Leslie. Feeling much better. Hoping the coming Monday or Tuesday going to retesting will come up negative. I feel like prison and mental health not able to go nowhere. Elvia, that's and I'm glad you're feeling better, and I hope you get a negative test, because if you guys watch Sean Baker, LVC, you know what I'm talking about. He mentioned that LVC, maybe you remember the numbers, but there was a 30% increase in overweight kids because of the lockdowns between the ages of 6 and 11. Think about that. If you think you're having trouble getting people to work now, wait till these 11-year-olds that are overweight grow up and they can barely get out of their house. Think of the money pharmaceutical companies are going to be making. If you're a stock investor, pharmaceutical is the way to go. I'm making money in the pharmaceutical area of stocks. I have started investing. And me and a friend, we talk all the time about this stuff. Yep, and increase in diabetes in kids. And who profits from that? Pharmaceutical companies. Your insurance rates will go up. If you didn't have the diabetes epidemic, this is true. You would have billions of dollars put back into the system, and you wouldn't have a healthcare crisis. Take the bit out, you wouldn't have a healthcare crisis. So be careful what you eat. GMC Family Trucking, what's up? But we're not quite at an hour. If there's anything else you guys want to talk about, let me know. Except for the question about an answer, that's between me and God. So I don't sit there and brag about the flu shot. I don't sit there and brag about the tetanus shot that I got because I was stupid and stepped on a nail. Anything like that. So, anyways. There might be a Guitar Live feed this weekend. I don't know. It's a long weekend. I might call our drummer and see if he wants to jam. I got to get the band room situated. Let's read that. Bill says CCP just limited online gaming services to 3 hours per week. Too many children turning into couch potatoes. There was another report where they were going to crack down, get this, crack down on social media influencers in the CCP that demonstrate a non-masculine man. Think about that for a minute. The kind of influence that they see here in America, they want nothing to do with it. And I know that in South Korea they have camps for kids that are addicted to video gaming and computer gaming and all that. Probably shouldn't talk about this, but there's something I want to say, but I'm not going to say it. Thoughts on GP Transco? Unlike the rest of you, I've not been obsessed with this GP Transco. I think that the color of their trucks is eh. I know that Red Monkey Trucking, he seems like a nice guy. He's a good guitar player. His wife is fairly nice. But I do know that Coach is doing a great job of getting the name in everybody's heads. Because I have nothing to do with GP Transco. Nevada has nothing to do with GP Transco. But yet my live feed mentions GP Transco, which guess what? The YouTube AI analytics sits there and goes, hey, everybody's talking about GP Transco, so this must be a trending thing. And so next thing you know, everybody gets tagged to that, and Coach has done his job. Now, I don't know anything about their payment plan. I don't know what they're like to work for. I don't know. I mean, I saw Coach's truck. It's nice, but every new truck is nice. So, whatever, dude. And if Coach is getting a good deal doing his job, now, could he do his job better? Well, that's between him and GP Transco. I really don't care because it doesn't affect my life. I'm over the company stuff because if I lose this gig as an owner-operator, I'm out. I'm done. I'm not going back to company driving. North Korea, they got camps of kids addicted to food. I believe that. Trucking with Cooper says, best job I've ever had. Well, there you go. Just say it, RN. RN, the last time I said what I wanted to say, I got hung up on. The Republic's been lost. The evidence is there. You just got to open your eyes. And that's all I'm going to say. See, Red Monkey says GP is a great company. So there you go. I'm not going to disparage the company I know nothing about. And so everybody is obsessed in GP Transco. You know, Coach is doing his job, man. It's interesting when people talk about other YouTubers and they talk about how they're running their business. But most of the people that are running their business a certain way that nobody agrees with are running their YouTubes extraordinarily. Like Little Guy. Everybody criticizes how often he jumps companies. But guess what? His YouTube crowd is huge. And that's what he focuses on. Same thing with Ike Stevens. He's had some business issues, right? But his YouTube is doing great. Trucker's Coach. He's been inconsistent on what he's done in the past. But his YouTube, he gets over 200 people in his live feeds. I got 34. So who am I to criticize how he does whatever he does? That's the thing. Everybody's kind of tied into and focused on the wrong things. You got to look at the bigger picture. If somebody does something on YouTube you don't agree with, like for example, other trucker James Best, he wants to buy a 20-year-old truck. And when he finally said, I want to buy it because I just want that truck, that should be enough for everybody, right? You know, does he know that he can get better fuel mileage or something else? Yes. Does he know he can get better, you know, whatever with the newer truck? Yes, but he doesn't want that. So, more power to him. If it makes him happy to step on that first step and push in that air brake, then so be it, right? Right? My issue with Coach getting a special deal, telling people he got a special deal but refused to disclose it, but talks about the equity at GP. I can understand the frustration with that, but at least he admitted he gets a special deal. And the reason why he may not relinquish that information because maybe the company doesn't want the information out. Because let's say that at Like Trucking, I got preferential treatment over something where another person didn't. That would create friction in the company, right? So you wouldn't want that information out. The only preferential treatment I get is that I make extra money doing the safety stuff for Jeff. But my percentage is the same. My insurance is still the same, right? I'm not really a recruiter for like, but a lot of people that sign on are like, yeah, I've been watching Jeff and Snorelord for a long time. And I thank you all for that. But most people don't want the information out there. And to have a driver do the recruiting is smart, because I don't trust recruiters. Are up there with used car salespeople. I don't like recruiters. There was a time where I didn't watch Jeff because I thought he was a recruiter for Snyder. And then I learned differently. Yes, he made money recruiting for Snyder in bonuses, but his intent was to help me, and that's what I looked at first. And he did. And I got to Snyder, and my business was saved, right? Who am I to tell anyone how to spend their dollar? Absolutely right, Bill. A bad job for one person could be the best job to another person. Absolutely right. Right on, Red. All companies taste like shit. Comes down to, look, my trainer told me something very important that I've learned. The only difference is, most times with all these trucking companies, is the color of the truck and the name on the side of the door. Everything else is same but different. And that's something that you have to recognize. If Coach puts out the information that is true on what you need to expect when you're at GP Transco, then he's doing his job. Getting you all obsessed in it and talking about it and doing videos about it, that's exactly what he wants. Just like everybody attacking RVT. He wants that attention, right? So if you have an issue with how business is being done over there, and if it's shady, then that's one thing. But if you just disagree with what Coach is saying, he's no different than any other YouTuber. I'm sure I'll get like 3 thumbs down from people who disagree with what I'm saying right now. It doesn't matter. There are more important things to be looking at. There are more important parts of your business you need to be focused on. Not focused on what somebody else is doing. And it's easy to get in that space to judge someone else because we put ourselves out here on YouTube. You know what I mean? Thought it was tasteless? That's the thing, we're American with freedom of choice for a couple more days or hours, yeah? Thanks for saying it. Bad press is still good press. Thought it was tasteless. You thought what was tasteless? What was tasteless, Nevada? I'm curious. And look, I won 1-inch thick pork chops at the meat raffle. Sweet, very good. James's elegant explanation of, oh wait. I can't comment the word. Oh, okay. Look. Here's the thing, and this is what you have to expect, okay? And this is not a stab at Coach, okay? If you look at the NFL, how many teams are in the NFL? Like 22? Something like that? Or 42? How many teams are in the NFL? Someone Google that for me. Out of all those teams, only one of them wins the Super Bowl. All those teams have coaches. Just because they got the word coach does not make them perfect. Does not make them know everything. And I've heard Coach say over and over that he does not know everything. So I don't know why people expect that from him. I've known Coach a long time. I've been watching his YouTube for a long time. I've watched the ups and downs of his channel. I've watched the ups and downs of his drama. I watched it when he bashed Traveloco. I watched it when he bashed every other company, you know. Then there was a little drama with me thinking that I snitched on him when I didn't, because his company's smart and figured it out. You know, there's all these different things, but the reality is he's Jason Pope. He's no different than any of the rest of us that are out here. He's doing his thing. He's driving a brand new truck with a low cost, being able to do what he wants, making money. And I can't fault a man for doing that. If he has a $5,000 repair, he's going to be in better shape than if I do. Why? Because he's got protection over that. He's got that umbrella. He's got a bigger company backing him. That's it. I'm not defending him. I'm not offending him. I'm just saying I don't know why everybody's obsessed with him. Because I really don't. Watch this video. Like it. Don't like it. Whatever. You know, does he go back? All of us have gone back on our words at one point or another. All of us. Every single YouTuber, myself included. Yay! So, that's my cue that we're done. Ogar, what's up? 26? Coach would be back at Loco if they worked the deal Coach and Little Dog wanted. Right. He would be. If you are a YouTube social media influencer and you don't use that to your advantage, and you got clout, like you've got some subscribers, you got some views, then then you're missing out on some potential, and a lot of these YouTubers that everybody complains about, they've got deals. I know some guys that were getting $10,000 a year promoting companies. You guys remember Lil Cat, Big Cat Trucker? He's doing stuff for Pilot now, and I imagine he's getting paid very well to do it. Mike was able to get off the road. And James Best is getting nachos bought for him. Nachos and beer. You can't beat that. Just don't lose the intention of what your channel started off to be. That's the important part. If you still have good intentions, then your channel can only steer in the right direction. And that's the reality of it. If you have good intentions and you're happy doing what you're doing, it doesn't matter what kind of deals you're making, it doesn't matter what you're getting paid in super chats or whatever, right? So you guys, we all need to have a more level head, because life is going to get rough. And if you're paying attention to what's going on around you, you should know that life is going to get a lot rougher. It's going to be a cold Christmas this year. Mark my words, if I'm wrong, call me out on it in January. But mark my words, there are some dark times coming, and we need to be focused on that. I don't care about what Coach is doing. I don't care about what James Best is doing. Although it's entertaining what James Best is doing. If a YouTuber is doing something that you don't like, whatever, right? As long as they're not hurting you or your family, you're good. So with that being said, thanks for watching. I got dinner waiting for me. It's Friday night. I miss Pale Rider and his live feeds. That's it. There might be a guitar live feed sometime this weekend. Who knows? But guys, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And yeah, Red Monkey knows what I'm talking about. Guys, peace.